Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells you like a TIL. If you like my video, please give us thumbs up and subscribe. Topic I'm going to talk to you today about music and about Normani. Normani was at the Women's Health thing the weekend. It was called Women's Health Conference. Or the same weekend that it was the Grammy Awards. And I first saw a picture of Candy Burris from the Real Housewives of Atlanta there, and then when I scrolled further down on my Instagram, I saw a post where it says Normani and Chloe Bailey were at the Women's Health thing, and they showed a picture of them together all in red and stuff like that. And then they showed a picture of Normani and they showed a picture of Normani, Chloe Bailey, and Nicole Sessinger and two more ladies that were at the health event and stuff like that. And so right after that, the next week they showed I think it was on that grape juice too, and they showed it and they said that Normani was gonna be a Sports Illustrated model, and she was modeling a nice bikini and stuff like that, a bikini bathing suit for Sports Illustrated. And then while she was doing an interview, she was doing an interview about the women's health, and she did something. They were asking her about getting back with the group, and she was saying, "Well, something might be coming up. Something is in the works. Something is in the works." And she was saying, and they were saying, well, what? And she was saying, well, yeah, something might be in the works with them, but I supposed to be having some new music coming out, some new music coming out, and some other things that got going on with me. Now I know when she did the interview with Sierra last year, she did say that, and then Sierra said that she was glad for a lot of stuff that Normani was gonna be doing coming up in 2026. And like I said when I did the video about it, that Normani was kind of scared that Sierra was gonna leak something out, but she didn't. And so I just happened to be on my YouTube page last night, and I saw where it says Normani did a live performance, and I was saying that must be last year when she did that Spotify stuff. But then when I looked down at the date, it said um it said 2026, and I was saying, oh, I did read something online on my Instagram was saying she was supposed to be doing something with I think with the NBA or whatever, and it was some kind of little festival that was in LA that same week. And when I clicked it on there, I said, "Ooh, she did good." And so the stage background was they had like a red curtain in the background, and then they had two of these microphones on each side of the stage, and then they had the light on each side of the stage, and then they had like a ladder in the background on one side, and then they had like a speaker on another side, and then they had like a dark gray background in the back. And then next thing you know, Normani, they had it where the lights were dimmed down low. And next thing you know, they dimmed the lights up, and then they showed Normani and the girls on stage dancing and singing and stuff like that. They looked real good. Normani had on like a sequin black bodysuit with some silver and black jogging pants. I call them jogging pants because I know I see a lot of people in those type. And then the dancers also had on like a gray silver jacket and those same baggy jogging pants, but they had kind of like maybe like a black halter top shirt up under the jacket that they had, and both of the girls had the jackets kind of zipped down, and that's why I know they had like a little black like halter top or something up under it, or a bodysuit up under it. But anyway, Normani looked good on stage, and that fan was blowing her hair left and right, and those girls had their long ponytail plaits and stuff like that. And like I said, the girls came out dancing with Normani. They kept up with Normani. Normani always had good stage presence and stuff like that, and stuff like that. She did use some props when she got to singing Wild Side. Now I'm gonna give the name, the choices of the song that she sung and stuff. And like I said, she always does a great performance. She started off with one. She started off with motivation. No, she started off with All Yours from the Dopamine album. And like I said, the Dopamine sound was like in the middle of the stage. It was hung down, and then after All Yours, she sung Wild Side, and then yeah, she sung Motivation first, and then all yeah, she sung Motivation first, and then All Yours, and then Wild Side was third, and Love Lies was fourth. But she also sung Dancing with the Stranger, and she was singing that on song Dancing with the Stranger. And then she went down in the audience, said, "Y'all help me sing it, y'all help me sing it." And then this audience member, she was singing it pretty good. And then they had another girl, but then at the end, she got kind of, when it got dancing with the strings, she got off key trying to do that high note. And she was saying, "Yeah, thank y'all for help me out in the audience, help me out in the audience." She said, "Cause I really couldn't hear the rest of the words, and that's why I had kind of stopped in the middle." And so whoever that was singing, she sung good, but when it got to the high note at the end of Dancing with the Strangers, she kind of strained whoever was singing in the audience. And so she walked back up on top of the stage, and then she started singing. And she said, "Y'all still with me on the right?" And they said, "Yes." "Y'all still with me on the left?" She said, "Yeah." And then she said, "I got time for one more song." And she said, "Okay." And then that's when she sung Love Lies. And uh, she said, she said, "I know y'all love this song. I love this song too." She said, "Give a big round of applause for Khalid." Khalid came out there and sung Love Lies with her and stuff like that. And so she said, "Give it up for Khalid." And so he sung Love Lies. To give it up for Normani. She's real good. And so she said, "Yeah, I got one more part." She started singing Dancing with a Stranger again, and a little bit of Love Lies, singing together. And she said, "Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for supporting me through this journey." And I said, "Yeah, you sure have been going through a journey, no mind." She said, "Thank y'all for supporting me." She said, "I hear y'all. I reach y'all letters and stuff." She said, "I hear y'all. I see y'all and stuff like that. Thank you to the fans." And she definitely get ready to walk off stage. Khalid walked back on and said, "Hey, it's not over with." She said, "What? It's not over with?" He said, "No, it's not over with." And he said, "Don't you know Love Lies is 8 years old?" She said, "Huh? Love Lies 8 years old?" He said, "No, I didn't know that." He said, "8 years ago, we made that song Love Lies and stuff like that." And he said he said it's been over 1 million streams or over 1 billion streams. I think it was 1 million or 1 billion streams on Spotify. The lady from Spotify, she brought up the thing, and her manager was in the background holding the thing, and they had the little green Spotify sign on it and stuff. And she said, "Oh, we did this, Khalid." He said, "No, you did this." She said, "No, we did this together." He said, "Normani," she said, "Khalid, I was so glad that you wanted me to be on your song and stuff like that. You believed in me." He said, "I always believed in you, Normani." He said, "This is a star. This is a star." He said, "I love you, Normani." And he said, "Oh, you're my friend. I love you too." And I said, "We must stop saying that, but you don't want your boyfriend to get mad, Normani." And it was just like they were both glad for each other. And then she said, "Okay." And then they ended the performance. Like I said, it was real good performance. I liked it. Like Normani is good on stage presence and stuff. I hope Normani does do more live performances this year, not just only on these small festival stages, but I hope they put it back on big stages. And that's why I was so disappointed that she got sick and fell down for BET, because she would have did a good performance on BET. Now there's Sony and CBS are cutting out a lot of BET and black shows and stuff like that. We're not even gonna even be able to see the BET awards this year and stuff. So that's why it was the missed opportunity all around and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm glad to see Normani. Hopefully, she can perform on other big stage shows and stuff like that. I really do wish they would keep BET and some of these black award shows, because it's like some of these black artists, if they're not mainstream or going into pop or not real popular, they don't get to perform on some of these other big time network stages, not unless they're doing a tribute or something like that. Like I said, I really do like this live performance Normani did. That's all I have for this video. This is A Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. I am out.